Good day, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful Wednesday. My Wednesday was worthy of Wednesday. I worked today for 2:30 until 8 at the library, which was good. Nice, relaxing, very slow for the library even. Seemed to start dragging. I don't know if I'm starting to get used to the job and I'm feeling that, or if it was just a lot slower than usual. Or maybe just there was less people there. I was there for the last 2 hours with just one other clerk, so which is good, because initially she put me down a schedule and then had everyone else in day shift, so I would have been by myself at the end there, which would have been interesting. I could have handled the people coming in. I just wouldn't have been I wouldn't have been sure what to do at the end of the night, as far as leaving things the way they are, or doing extra things that I don't know about, basically. And then after work, I went straight over to friends from the drive to have another Mafia night. Yay! Mafia. Alright, so I went straight down there. I got there about 8:30 when they started at 8. So they were literally just starting the first game. It was a small game. For some reason, there were no cops in this game. But I walked in and was given a card because they had literally just started. The only thing that happened is the Mafia had killed someone. So I dodged that first night's bullet for that reason. And I was given a card that said cop when I woke up to do my job, which was the next thing to do, the very next step. I discovered that there were no other cops, just me. Alright, fine. I was wondering why there was no cops before me, but... So the game went it was weird. It went fast, and we got to a point where I don't remember the details really. It came to a point where I investigated someone, and I investigated someone the first night, and it was Mafia, and I didn't come out right away. I investigated someone the second night. They were innocent. I messed up, and I gave a signal, which I thought gave me away as a cop. Someone asked me, "Who do you think, Nathan?" And I didn't answer verbally. I just very subtly, looking right at this person, tilted my head this way to indicate the person sitting right next to me was Mafia, and I investigated and was confirmed that they were Mafia. And his reaction was kind of just like, okay, not like, oh sweet, or something like excitement. It was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, he might be Mafia. I might have just outed myself to Mafia, so I might as well just out myself to everyone so that the nurse can maybe save me. So what happened was, my instincts were correct, and this person was Mafia. Although this person was Godfather. So on the third night, I investigated him. I was told that he was, in fact, guilty. But as the Godfather, I should have been told he was innocent. I was literally down between two people, so I don't know if the outcome of the game would have changed at all. But our moderator miscounted and thought we had less people than we did, and called the game in favor of the Mafia, even though it was actually in favor of the town. After screwing that up and giving away the Godfather. So it just kind of ended off of like, oh well, whatever. That game didn't end well. But based on what was the current situation, whether it was fair or not to the Godfather for being revealed, the town actually came out on top, not the Mafia. There was one more Mafia, but we probably would have caught her next. Game 2, a whole bunch of people showed up while we were playing this quick short game, so we quickly got into a second game, and I was a cop again. And sitting right off to my right side was Jesse. He was a cop also. The two of us were cops. We brought the seducer into the game, which is a Mafia member who can visit someone at night and prevent them from doing their normal nightly role. What that means is if the seducer seduces the nurse can't save anyone that night. If the seducer visits a cop, even if there's two cops, the one cop can't wake up and investigate. So what winds up happening is, first night, there's an attempt made on someone's life, but that person is saved by the nurse. Odds are that person is the nurse. Not necessarily for sure, but odds are pretty good. Um, and I don't know who was seduced. Someone was seduced, but it wasn't a person with a role because he didn't call for everyone to put their hands out so he could put their thumb down to indicate they were seduced that night, which he only needs to do to players that are going to wake up. So if it's a normal townsperson, then obviously he doesn't need to do that. Unfortunately, it's a giveaway when he does that, and so he probably should do it every night, but that's not what the moderator did. So first night, someone was seduced without a role. Doesn't really matter who it was. And the nurse saved themselves. Jesse and I investigated someone and found them innocent. Night 2, and then we wake up, accusations are made, people are silenced, people walk out of the room, which makes me suspicious, so I voice my suspicions. We go to sleep, someone's killed, the seducer seduces me. And this is the only thing that didn't make sense, was the seducer seduces me. And the silencer silences me, which prevents me from confirming that I am still a cop, which is fine if there's no Yakuza strike. So I get lucky in that regard. There's no Yakuza strike, I just get silenced and seduced, so I can't wake up. So Jesse, as soon as we wake up, he tells me who he investigated, and that person was found guilty. And I'm silenced, so I can't say anything. And then there was actually 2 silencers, so there's a second person silenced as well, and they indicate, or they had been pointing at this person, which I guess is why Jesse investigated them and found out that he was guilty. So we got to a point where Jesse felt like he had to come forward and said he was the cop. We investigated this person, he was innocent, this person was innocent, and this person is guilty. And so we took out that person, boom, right away. Next night, we go to sleep, and someone is seduced. And I'm like, I hope it's not Jesse, but that's okay, as long as the Yakuza doesn't strike, because then I can know he's still... And the Yakuza strikes. And then I wake up to investigate someone, and Jesse doesn't wake up. And I'm like, now, was he seduced, or was he turned by Yakuza? And I investigate someone, they're Mafia, and I'm like trying to figure out if Jesse's trustworthy or not to tell based on the rules being changed up a little bit. And turns out it shouldn't have mattered. I should have just told him. If he was Mafia, he wouldn't voice it, and if he was Town, he obviously would voice it. Because I was killed by the Mafia that night. And my decision made it so I was able to point out that this person was Mafia. And they never suspected this person. And what followed was a train wreck. The nurse was actually turned. There was a second attempt on the nurse's life on the previous night, and they saved themselves again. And the next night, the nurse was turned. Jesse was, in fact, seduced, not turned. So he was still trustworthy, but... And then... Yeah, it was kind of a mess. And then the Mafia wound up winning as a result. Game 3. Night 1. I am killed. I also hear the person sitting right next to me, off to my left, making noises like movement, slight, and noises with his mouth indicating he's trying to communicate without speaking, but using his mouth anyways to indicate that who he wants to kill or whatever. And Mafia kills me. Turns out he was Mafia, Jesse was Mafia, the person directly across from me was Mafia, and a couple other people were Mafia that I don't know if I would have read it or not. So I'm out early in the game, and it was one of the sloppiest games I've ever seen. If I was alive to play that game, I would have had so much to say every single day, point out so many things that I probably would have been killed within the next night or two, just because of all that, or silenced a lot. Because there were just so many mistakes that happened, and it was driving me crazy, and I couldn't say anything because I was killed. The worst part was that I was actually right, and the person to my left was Mafia. I did, in fact, hear him and he was a Yakuza, and he was able to strike and use his power. The ironic thing, though, is that the move that he does, he's done a move in the past that we named that as the strategy, named after him, where he's Mafia, but he's given a gun and he kills a fellow Mafia member. He did this like 3 times. So we kept giving him guns and he kept killing Mafia. It's a bad strategy, and it was a bad strategy. We did it because the Mafia didn't have enough numbers to pull off a victory after that. But he's become infamous for this, and somehow, for some reason, someone thought it'd be a good idea to give him a gun. He was Mafia, and he killed the person sitting right across from me who was also Mafia. Just because it's like, you got a gun, you kill him, bang, he kills him, and then, alright, now you're innocent. And I'm like, he's not innocent, he's pulling his strategy again. It was very frustrating to watch as well. And then we'll get through the whole game, it comes down, and by the skin of their teeth, Mafia almost held on, but they were taken out and Town won. And I, by the way, in the third game was just a townsperson, so it didn't matter because I was out early anyways. But those are the 3 games we played, so I sat through the whole game hoping we'd play a 4th, and then everyone started leaving and we didn't have enough people left, so we didn't play a 4th game, and it ended. And then I came home. So now I'm going to watch some of my shows because I was so tired last night. I just crashed without watching anything. So I still have one from Monday. So I gotta watch Supergirl. I'm not gonna do this all tonight because again it's already kind of late. Definitely gonna watch Survivor. I gotta watch Supergirl, Flash, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, and Survivor, and Impact. All are on there now. So I better watch them. Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.